Hey, Editor Ox here. Just wanted to let you guys know before the video starts that because I couldn't think of any visuals to put here, treat this video as more of a podcast of sorts. That's it. Enjoy the rest of the video, or podcast, or however you want to see this. Hey, welcome to our 2022 discussion of games.
Jay,
Because I can talk.
Video games.
Woody is frequent.
Hi.
Homecoming.
What's my line again?
I don't know. Just say something.
Hola.
And Skull Kid.
That's me.
So we have a few categories set up. Almost Game of the Word style. I mean, game. Yeah, that.
Game Awards.
Yeah,
The
because
Game
I can
Awards.
talk tonight. But yeah, we have it set up Game Award style, and we're starting with the first category of the night: surprise hit. So to start us off, Homecoming. What's your surprise hit of the year?
My surprise hit was a game that I was not expecting to be really hooked on, and I can't stop playing it. And that game, it's played by everyone in this call, and that game is Marvel Snap. For those who do not know, Marvel Snap is basically a Marvel-themed card game based off of all sorts of areas of Marvel, more so the comics, and it plays like classic Yu-Gi-Oh! In the best way possible. Every hero has like abilities on reveal or ongoing. You try to get more points than your opponent in 6 turns, sometimes 7, but most times 6. And yeah, this is a game I find myself playing nigh daily. Like, it's a great game to unwind at the end of the day too. It's fun to hop in, do a couple matches. And it's one of the few mobile games that doesn't have a lot of gotcha elements in it. There's still some questionable business practices, but like, it's still really good. One of my absolute favorites.
So I'm gonna contradict you here real quick. This is not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like at all.
It was actually made by the team that did Hearthstone, and
Yeah.
it plays a lot more akin to that. But I will say, it feels as addictive as Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day. Maybe this is because the creator passed away this year, and we have that like just nostalgia there. Maybe it's because I got everyone hooked on watching and reading, and maybe even playing a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. So who knows?
Yeah, well, that's good to know. I've never played Hearthstone a day in my life. Is Hearthstone about capturing zones with different cards?
So I'll be completely honest. I also know very little about Hearthstone, but the fact that I know how big the game is just by name alone kind of gave me confidence to go, wow, this is actually pretty cool.
Maybe I'll try it next year, who knows, but
I wouldn't at this point. Hearthstone, according to the community, has gone downhill entirely.
Well, what about you, Frequent? What's your surprise hit?
Same thing. Marvel Snap. Because, good lord, Marvel Snap is just fantastic.
And Skull Kid, I assume it's the exact same thing for you.
Actually not, because I figured y'all would actually talk about it. So I was like, let me think of things that maybe I've played, maybe you guys haven't, and or possibly just dabbled in. And for me, I guess if I'm going off of my personal own opinion for a surprise hit, I would say I felt that booting up and doing Legends Arceus for me, like just hearing so much from the older fans of how much they enjoy it, and even some of the new fans overall, just that cool amount of, this is kind of the Pokemon game we've all kind of dreamt of as a kid, just like, I want to run around in a field, I don't even want to battle a Pokemon, I just want to see if I can just throw a Pokeball at it, and that's the game. Just that simple thought process there is one of my absolute favorite things. I love sneaking up on these ridiculously leveled Pokemon and going, yeah, I'm not even going to try and battle you, but I'm going to catch you.
Legends Arceus is amazing.
It is.
It is. It really is. For me, my surprise hit of the year is Spark the Electric Jester 3. For anyone who doesn't know, the Spark the Electric Jester series is a video game series heavily inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog. The first game is basically what would happen if you took the classic Sonic games and combined them with the power-up system of, like, Kirby. Spark 3 is that, but in 3D, and it takes heavy inspiration from the Sonic Adventure games. And the story of Spark 3 is wild, and if I talk any more about it, I'm going to end up spoiling it. So let's move on to the next category. What is the best game that you've played for the first time this year? It doesn't even have to be from 2022. It just has to be a game that you played for the first time this year.
Only a couple steps in, and we're already breaking the rules. Suck it, y'all.
God damn it. We're starting with you this time, Frequent.
Okay, so you wanted to know about a game that I played for the first time this year?
Yes.
That would be Kena, Bridge of Spirits.
I still need to start that.
Yeah, it's a really good Zelda-like. Like, it is clear, like, love letter to Zelda, and it's just a joy to play. Like, well, okay. The story is quite emotional, but gameplay-wise, it is a joy to play.
I've heard akin comparisons from Majora's Mask, and that literally made me buy the game, and I still haven't started it.
So the reason there's a lot of comparisons to Majora's Mask is because the company that made the game actually created a fan animation of Majora's Mask before that got very popular.
Oh my god.
I believe it's called Terrible Fate.
Oh my god! I remember watching that back in the day. Okay, I need to start this soon.
Yes, yeah, it's Majora's Mask Terrible Fate. Yeah. Yeah, the creators are Ember Lab. They made a very good game.
I have a very good memory revolving around that game. I didn't play it this year. I have not picked it up. I do not own it, but when my best friend who is in the Air Force, hi Absol if you're watching this, but when he came and visited and we saw Sonic Movie 2, we always joke when he comes and visits that we're going to do shopping hauls, and we went into Best Buy and we found that game on PS5, and he was like, his face lit up because he was looking for it for a little bit, so he actually picked that up there.
It is well worth the cost of entry, and it goes on sale pretty often, so I would definitely pick it up if you're interested.
I'm interested in it, but I've also heard the game. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Does this game have spiders in it?
Not that I recall, but I haven't totally finished it yet, so I will let you know.
Okay. Homecoming?
Okay, my best first time this year was Klonoa via the Phantom Reverie collection, or whatever it's called. I have always wanted to play Klonoa, and now I can. Got it right away, got it around my birthday. Have not played the second Klonoa game, but I did play the first, and it's so delightful. Klonoa is kind of in the same vein of why I like Kirby games, because Klonoa games aren't very intense. They aren't very like platform heavy. Klonoa is about like enjoying the world and the environment and the music, and overall I'm sold. I can't wait to play the second one. Really like the first one, and like Kirby, there are a few darker elements hidden under the seams of this game. In its story, I should say.
Okay. Skull Kid?
Mine's a pretty simple one. Metroid Fusion.
Ooh.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, as someone who I originally grew up with Super Metroid, but I never really beat it until last year. I found Metroid Fusion the week of my wedding, and I played it so nonstop that when I finished it, I was just like, oh, I need to buy more Metroid games now.
Yes.
I am now a diehard fan. About 2 weeks ago, I both picked up Samus Returns and Zero Mission, so I'm about to finally kind of say I'm caught up with the Metroid series officially once I start those.
That's
Oh.
funny because everyone, like all of my friends, these guys included, keep trying to get me into the Metroid series. And the only reason that I'm not into it is because the first Metroid game I ever played was Other M.
You deserve to give Metroid a second chance. Metroid is not my kind of series. Like,
No. Metroid deserves Rox giving it another chance. Rox doesn't deserve another chance with Metroid.
oh my gosh. But Metroid isn't my kind of series, but I will throw you a Metroidvania that you need to play, Skull Kid, because I feel like you will be head over heels for it. Skull Kid, play the Guacamelee games.
I also need to. Maybe they'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I am a very big Metroid fan, or at least 2D Metroid fan.
I am also in this boat where I grew up with Samus. Always went, wow, it's so cool that we have this incredibly badass female pro tag who I would honestly say paved the way for a lot of badass female protagonists in video games at least. And yeah, playing something especially like Zero Mission, which for something that was on the Game Boy Advance, just being so spectacularly like tight and just great feeling as you went through. Oh, so good.
It
Zero
is not
Mission.
aged. It is not aged very much.
Zero Mission and Fusion are my absolute favorites in the series.
Now, if only Nintendo could release these so everyone else could play them without having to pay a ridiculous price.
Or have a Wii U.
My absolute favorite Metroid game is Super Smash Brothers.
Ooh.
We are all entitled to decent opinions. That was not one of them.
Don't hit that
just support-
dislike button! Don't hit the dislike button! Just see some
Yeah,
people
Skull
click.
Kid. If you want to find out where Metroid Dread's combat started, that is a great way to start Samus Returns. If you've played
Oh,
Dread,
yeah.
if you haven't played Dread, then
Oh yeah, that's what I've heard. I even went out of my way to. I even went out of my way. I sold a bunch of my retro collection just for the amiibo so I could use it. That's how dedicated I now am to this franchise.
So I moved recently, and a lot of my stuff is in storage. The only amiibos I do not keep in storage are my Samus Returns and Dread amiibos because I love Metroid. Yeah,
Right.
if you-
Nice.
and then Zero Mission is a good. It is the probably best extension of the Super Metroid gameplay. I still think Super Metroid's a better game, but it definitely does a lot to smooth over some of the harsher edges of Super Metroid.
We could lovingly talk about Metroid, but Rock, let's get down to the dirty.
Oh, right. So for me, the best game I played this year for the first time was One Shot, which is very Undertale-esque. I haven't gotten that far in it, but I haven't gotten that far in it, and I can't really explain what the story's about so far, but I'm enjoying what I'm playing of it. I don't know, it's weird.
How is it Undertale-esque, if you don't mind me asking, just because I've also never heard of this game.
So I'm playing the Switch version, and because of that, it mimics like a desktop. If you're actually playing it on like PC, which is what the game originally released for, it requires you to go outside of the game in order to progress through the game, if that makes sense.
That's a very like Doki Doki Literature Club move.
Yeah.
Dude, Doki Doki is not okie dokie, at least with me.
Yeah, they
That's
try to
fine.
They try to simulate that on the Switch version by basically making like a fake desktop-esque menu to mess
GDLC
around
does the
with.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, up for the next category, the most anticipated game of next year, and I just want to say, for me, it's One Piece Odyssey. I cannot wait for that game.
Oh, okay.
That's an early release too, but
Oh
I am
yeah.
also excited. At least a decent amount excited. Remember, everyone, demo the 10th, which is a couple days before the game release, but still, it's a demo nonetheless.
Now I'm gonna pass it over to the guy who said he's gonna do an all Sniper King run.
Of course, it needs to be done the Sniper King way. But I mean,
Soccer King.
mine is probably as someone who also works at just like a retail shop, especially for games. My brain goes, oh, I forget so many things coming out next year. But the one thing I know for a fact I have not forgotten, and as a matter of fact, I am now synonymous in the store with knowing I'm hyped for, has got to be that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I don't even need to see more of it. I just goosebumps every time I see any of those trailers. I even go back and watch them. I'm that excited.
That's the Breath of the Wild as well. I remember, this is a slight side tangent, but I got to go to an escape room that was Zelda themed that they were doing, moving across the country at the time. We barely made it in, and we finished in time, so we got to play a demo of Breath of the Wild, about 2 weeks before the game came out. And I, by that point, had watched and rewatched the E3 footage so many times that I'd basically memorized the entire layout of the Great Plateau.
That is probably still, or not even the E3 trailer, but their kind of big 2017 production trailer. That's still probably one of my favorite video game trailers to this day, and I still play it because it's a song that's not in the game itself, but it is so good. The song's so good it's in Smash.
Yeah,
it wasn't even part of the game, and if you look at the game title, it's literally Zelda 2017 production special yada yada whatever. I can't remember.
And I have the same game on as my most anticipated because Breath of the Wild was such a God, how do you even describe one of the best games of all time?
Oh yeah. I wish One Piece Odyssey wasn't coming out next year, because then I could just put Tears of the Kingdom on my for mine, but it's damn it.
I literally, and this is complete honesty. That second trailer we got, where they kind of officially announced at least the release here that is planned on coming out. I still remember being excited for Skyward Sword coming out a month, or I think it was literally a month or a couple weeks away, and just the moment you see Link falling into the sky, instantly having that Skyward Sword feel, every time it brings a tear to my eye of just excitement and anticipation.
Oh, they're gonna do Skyward Sword better.
I love Skyward Sword, but if it does, I love Skyward Sword. I will fight for Skyward Sword. Not the discussion for today.
Sword. I want to clarify.
Yeah,
I like Skyward Sword, but they look like they're about to take the concept and just fucking run with it.
Oh, they're gonna take the concept and completely go, yeah, last time this was a concept, now it's an experience.
Oh man,
It's so
can't
exciting.
wait.
And then, dear friend Homecoming, what's your anticipated game for the next year coming up on us?
Well, I was gonna say one. I'm gonna say one that doesn't have a definitive release date that I was hoping. I was about to say Kirby's Return to Dreamland DX, because I am actually very happy that that's getting off of the Wii, and I love the original, and it's such an incredible game. Can't wait for people to experience it. But then another game popped into my mind that is slated for this coming year that has no release date, and that is Spider-Man 2. I love the first game. I've platinumed the first game. I have platinumed Miles Morales. I love this version of New York. I love exploring it. It has that open world feel, but it is so compact that there is enough in there for me to really enjoy the game. I'm really hoping to see more of it very soon. I love both games. I love the story. I feel like the first game is like one of the best Spider-Man movies that was never put in theaters in terms of story. The Miles Morales is like one of the best superhero TV shows that we never got, and I just love this world that Insomniac has created, and I'm really hoping that we get to expand on it. I'm hoping that, like a lot of people are theorizing, that you can pick what Spider-Man you want to be in the hub world, and if that case, I'm going to be Miles, because Miles is like my main Spider-Man, and I do kind of appreciate the fact, and I think this is kind of funny, my most anticipated movie of next year is Into the Spider-Verse, of course, or Across the Spider-Verse, I mean. Can't wait to see that. And the fact that, just like 2018, history is repeating itself, where we are getting a Spider-Verse movie and a Spider-Verse game in the same year, I think is kind of funny.
Yeah, hopefully MCU Spider-Man doesn't die again too.
I was gonna say, honestly, I think from a marketing standpoint, that's just Sony doing smart marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like that movie. Better go buy this game now.
I was like, that said, love Insomniac. Keep doing what you're doing, and don't overwork yourselves. We love your stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
I want to point out PS4 Spider-Man, or I guess PlayStation Spider-Man, is also in Spider-Verse, like at least in the background. That has been confirmed.
Oh yeah.
Please give him at least one throwaway line. Please put Yuri.
I could literally do a 30-minute rant by myself on not even rant, just like excitement for all the Spider-Man, all the little cameos.
But before we move on, I just want to throw this out there. Speaking of comic book heroes themed video games that take place in New York, I don't know what it's going to be about or who's publishing it, but I really, really hope that TMNT game that's supposedly coming out next year, I really hope it's good.
Oh, I've not heard of this.
Thankfully, we got a good one this year, Rox. No, we got two. We got a good collection, and we got Shredder's Revenge, but...
One of my new favorite beat-em-ups of all time. But,
yeah.
Moving on to the next... the next category. Best multiplayer game of 2022. We're starting with you, Homecoming.
Okay. I was gonna say Shredder's Revenge, and then I played it recently, and the online on Shredder's Revenge still runs like garbage. With lots of drop-ins and such. So I'm gonna say Splatoon 3. I have had nothing but fun with y'all playing Splatfest, doing salmon runs together, you know, trying to win, trying to defeat teams, making sure that, you know, the evil that is Big Man will soon be defeated. That's right, he's not allowed to win. Big Man. I will say that here on record. Big Man, no. Big Man is not allowed to win anything. We do not stand Big Man.
We stand Shiver in this house.
We stand Fry and Shiver. Big Man is literally there just to be a living meme.
No. Not even Fry, just Shiver.
I like Fry, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I like Fry also. See, yeah, you've been outvoted, but back on topic, Splatoon 3. Yes, is it more of Splatoon? But it's more Splatoon done well, and I've had fun playing it with y'all. Can't wait to play Splatfest with y'all in January, and I always enjoy booting it up with friends or on my own. So yeah, Splatoon 3.
Okay.
Mine's is also Splatoon 3 for more or less the same reasons. It's a good game. It's a good game.
It's kind of hard to add to what Homecoming said, huh?
Yeah.
Well, just so I could actually get a different game in here, because I also have enjoyed Splatoon 3. Y'all actually made me get more into the Splatoon series overall. I completely kind of missed the first one, and the second one I literally bought, I think, the first year, played it twice, and then never owned it again up until, I want to say, 2 months before Splatoon 3 came out. That's how little I was into Splatoon, but just to throw a different game into there. I enjoyed Multiverses. I still think it's fun to actually go back to once in a while. The wackiness of just going, I'm gonna fight Rick from Rick and Morty with Batman, or I'm gonna have Shaggy fight freaking LeBron James. That concept alone just still makes me chuckle, and you could throw a little spin into it of different things you could do. Is it maybe the best? Not entirely, but the fun you could have with it is pretty high up there.
Oh, it's interesting. All right, yeah, it is. It is fun to play. I just feel it's a little light on
Yeah.
content.
It's a little light. If anything, it's just. I would say it's not even in terms of just like multiplayer games. I wouldn't even say it has the amount of content that like the original Smash Bros. Had. But the like gameplay, not too bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Comparing any game to a game made by Sakurai, though, in terms of content, is just a losing battle.
Or watch you comparing it to something made by Miyamoto.
Okay, well, it compared to original Super Mario Bros, where the only thing you do to start the game is press start. Yeah, it's got some content.
Yeah, I would say that multiverses I think could end up being like Fortnite, and I don't mean like, oh my gosh, it's a giant cultural phenomenon, but I think if they add story elements in somehow, or add more characters and add a little bit of flavor, I think the game could pick up, because remember,
I remember
Fortnite died for a little while. Fortnite was not always the big thing that it is now.
Here's the thing though. I actually remember hearing rumors somewhere. I think it was before the game came out. Apparently there was going to be a story mode at some point.
And when that happens, I'll go back to the game.
I think if you're just wanting to do some mindless nonsense in multiplayer, completely fine. Just like do
For
for
sure.
like here or there. Especially just having a tag team partner, kind of just have some fun. Just something mindless.
Exactly.
If you want something more mindful, definitely stuff like Splatoon, or even. I'm not even gonna really bring it up in any of our categories, but I know people have been hopping back into Overwatch, but I still haven't.
It's fine. Don't worry too much about it. It's fun. It's just Overwatch again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frequent. What was yours?
I'm vacillating between two, but I think I'm gonna go for the wilder pick, and I'm gonna say Sniper Elite 5.
Ooh.
There is nothing more fun than murdering Nazis with your friends. I'm just gonna say that. And just like every installment, you can buy the DLC to shoot Hitler in the ball.
Hell yeah.
What
That-
more do you need?
That actually gave me a random curveball, but I might save that for an honorable mention thing later.
Okay.
It's fun, man. It's fun.
So for the next category, we have best low-key game.
Best nut shot in gaming.
Shut up. best low-key game. This applies to any game that might have flown under the radar for a lot of people. We're starting this one off with frequent.
Oh, okay. I don't think Homecoming's gonna like this, but I'm gonna say Harvestella. I like Harvestella a lot. I think it's a great game. I think it's very, very cozy. I think it's fun, and I just like chilling and taking care of my farm. I think it's good. I like it, and the fantasy stuff is also entertaining. Also,
Okay.
there's dating. There's a dating sim in it, so everyone loves that.
Okay. And your rebuttal, Homecoming?
It's a farm game. We sure got farm games this year. Do you want farm game? Do you want this farm game? Do you want a farm game as a wizard? Final Fantasy Farm Edition? Do you want a farm with depressed Mickey Mouse?
Hey, listen.
Play
Listen. Nintendo Switch has games.
Yeah, but Homecoming. Did you play it though?
I did not play Harvestella.
Okay,
just
there you
found
go.
it- I am not judging Harvestella. It's more so I think it's funny how many farm games were in that one direct, and how many farm games have come out this year. You've
Yeah,
got
mid-
the
there
orange.
are a lot.
You're
was also
missing the.
Little Noah, but Little Noah I have been unable to get. I think it's another farming game. to be
Okay,
honest
so
with you.
I know you're referring to Dreamlight Valley with depressed Mickey Mouse, but that's less. I mean, you do farming in that game, but it's less of a farming game and more just Harvest Moon. I mean, not Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing.
It's not
Sorry,
farming, it's Harvest Moon.
sorry. With all the farming talk, I just have Harvest Moon on the brain now.
Oh no, that's fair. That is totally fair. But yes,
But,
life sim game with sad
Never
Mickey
mind.
Mouse.
I was misremembering Little Noah. I think it seems to be a 2D platformer.
This is a farm sim. What is this?
okay,
I do want it still, though. I do want it still. I'm going to point that out.
Homecoming.
Uh huh.
Yeah, what's yours?
Okay, so best nut shot in gaming.
Oh my god.
Okay, fine. My best low key sleeper hit is Grapple Dog. Every person I brought up Grapple Dog to goes, what?
You know, what the hell's
What's-
Grapple Dog?
See, my point exactly. Grapple Dog is a really fun 2D platformer where he plays a dog named Pablo with a grappling hook. And it is just a fun little 2D platformer. If you collect everything in the level, you get to pet the dog. It has a very fun sense of humor. It's very bright and colorful. Grapple Dog was a game that I have seen people talk about. It does not cost a lot of money. It's really good. Grapple Dog is definitely worth your time. It's like $15, and I really enjoyed it.
Ooh. This actually was the hardest category for me to do. Because there's just so many games I think either people ignored or actually were reviewed and not really given a time of day. This is honestly like actually was the one I had to think about because I went, wow, even with the games I've played this year, some of them just weren't even looked at by some. Easily, I could go with the easy answer for me. Digimon Survive. Not enough people looked at Digimon Survive because I think the marketing for it was atrocious. It is a light novel game that also has gameplay aspects. That is literally how it was described on the site, and if you look it up, that's how it's described. Every single piece of way the game was marketed shows the tactical RPG side of this game, which is far and few between to kind of be fair, but I think the gameplay for just those moments was awesome. Like, it as someone who likes Fire Emblem, I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. The story's solid. Kind of wish we had English voice acting, but I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of that. Banco, watching you. Yeah, that's definitely my number one choice. My number two being Gotham Knights, but that's just because I think people were reviewing it badly, and I think it's a really good game.
Skullkid thinks it's neat.
I mean, I also, as my honorable mention thing I said actually not too long ago, the multiplayer on it as well changes the game completely. Playing it one player feels like Arkham City, Arkham Asylum. It kind of feels like those games. There's obviously differences, but when you play it two player, me and my younger brother have absolute blast, just like the big thugs that you always hate fighting in video games. Absolute blast to just go up to one and go, we're just going to double team this guy to where they can't hit us. Can't die if you can't get hit.
You know, Skull Kid, I'm surprised you didn't play Harvestella this year because I feel like you'd simp over Chris.
To be completely honest, my sites were very small this year for the games I cared for. I'm still even playing Digimon Survive here and there.
Yeah.
For me, my best low key game of the year was Bear and Breakfast. It's a cozy, it's a cozy little game where you get to run your own Airbnb as a bear who clearly doesn't know what he's doing.
I want that one.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, I think that's the reveal trailer where a bunch of people are like dying in the in the bed and breakfast. Like,
Yeah, because he doesn't know what he's doing. It's like he's a bear.
But did you watch We Bare Bears while playing breakfast?
No.
You should do that.
Word.
So what? When I play Banjo-Kazooie, I should also watch Bear Bear.
No, when you play Banjo-Kazooie, you should watch Bear in the Big Blue House.
Joke's on you. Whenever I play Banjo-Kazooie, I watch DuckTales. I don't. No, why?
Well, I mean, Kid Cloud Kicker is kind
Yeah.
of like Banjo when you think about it.
This isn't a criticism, but I feel like this conversation is only funny to you two.
No, that's fair.
It's okay. It's okay. We totally bear with you guys.
And with that, we're moving on. Best DLC of the year. I think it was the Mario Kart 8 expansion pack because I just think it's neat. Also, because
all right, let's go.
Like Marge, I just think they're neat.
Oh yeah, in the oh definitely. In the famous words of Chris Pratt, yeah, let's go.
Wahoo!
When
It's
I
me, Mario.
I grew up stomping Goombas, Koopas.
And then I came out blasting. But yeah, no, just the tracks from Tour coming over to 8 Deluxe is just like, especially my favorite track as of right now is not London Loop, Berlin Byways, and oh my god, it translates so perfectly into Mario Kart 8.
Well, some of the old courses that they've brought back and then changed, like what they did with Peach Gardens, is incredible.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was it? Bringing back 3DS Rainbow Road. I've never played that. I didn't have Mario Kart 7. It's really good.
I will say that one of my complaints with that DLC is Sky Garden. That's like the worst track in the DLC so far.
Yeah, they can all be winners.
Yeah, Daisy Cruiser, where are you?
Hey, at least we got what was it? Sydney Sprint. Sydney Sprint
yeah.
is really good.
We need either that or DK Mountain, please.
Also,
DK Mountain. Wow.
here's the thing. When on my first playthrough, I loved this track, but on subsequent playthroughs, especially with like London Loop and Berlin Byways out now, New York Minute is so disappointing.
I actually like New York Minute, but I think it's more to do with the aesthetic and the music than the actual track.
Yeah.
Ninja Hideaway still might be one of my absolute favorites.
No,
That one's wild.
okay, to be fair, I think the true disappointing track that's based off of a real life location may be Tokyo Blur.
I mean,
I can see why you would say that. I think it's on lap 3 where you go through that highway that has the huge walls. When I was actually in Japan a few years ago, and I literally remember that highway.
So, do you guys have Frequent and Homecoming? Do you guys have different best DLCs?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Frequent and I have actually a very similar.
nah, I have
Best
Mario
DLC.
Kart.
The objective best DLC this year was Monster Hunter. Like,
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak just it literally changed the game. Like by adding a couple like quality of life changes, it made me feel like I just got a not even like a version update or even a DLC only update. It almost felt like I just got another iteration of the game. Just being able to switch skills on the fly,
it's just
fantastic.
a second game on top of the first game.
Even with its own set of characters, a new hub, it's great.
Yeah, I literally have nothing bad to say about it, and I'm on the cusp of going back to World and playing that again because Rise got me into Monster Hunter, and now I'm addicted, and I'm very angry about it because I'm playing Mario plus Rabbids right now, and in the back of my head I'm going, yeah, you could be playing Monster Hunter though.
Ooh, there's a game that also might be low key. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't heard anyone talk about it.
What, Sparks of Hope?
Yep.
I hear people talk about it all the time. It won best strategy game of the year.
you do got to remember, I didn't see the Game Awards because I was working, but at the same
That's
time,
fair.
not shocked. It does have damn good tactics in it.
It is very good. As I said, I'm playing it right now. It's really it's the best you're gonna get this side of Fire Emblem.
Which, honorable mention, also excited for that next year.
Christ, an
Uh,
Advance Wars fan.
Yeah, that'll come eventually.
Oh man, there was just so, like many of the Advance Wars, I would just say poor timing has just always been the biggest enemy of that series.
Right, Nintendo confirmed that it is just delayed, not canceled. We will get it eventually.
Yeah.
Just delayed.
Uh,
It'll be the launch title for the Switch too. It's fine.
I doubt that. I'm
I
sure.
refuse avidly to ever
March.
go into a Switch.
If I had-
2
If I had to guess, it'll probably get released sometime next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna say March.
If it's August, then it'll release on my birthday, and that'll make me happy. But yeah,
I think
Anyway.
I think is that all we got to say with DLC. Then
Play Sunbreak. Sunbreak good. Play Sunbreak.
play Sunbreak,
I'm no
play
longer
Monster Hunter
asking.
Rise.
Yeah, true. I am no longer asking.
Hold
It's a
on.
command, damn it.
Just frequent. I'm no longer asking. Pulls out the gun lance.
and then you
Up
see
next-
3 of those like cat companions with guns also.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Oh, Palicos with gun lances. I think you need 3 of them to even carry it.
Up next is most disappointing game of the year. Skull Kid.
Most disappointing. All honesty, if it was something on my radar that I just wasn't excited for, I wasn't going to play it. That was very, very cut and dry simple with me. But one of the only games I actually bought this year that I ended up being incredibly disappointed in, and it hurts me, is Dragon Ball The Breakers. I was actually kind of like, I went from to actually a little excited. Yeah, I went from like a little excited to I kind of want to try this out. It looks cool. The tutorial actually wasn't too bad. And then I could not find a lobby for 3 days after release.
Mm-hmm.
And that just told me the game was dead from the get-go.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and there's not a one-player mode either, really. So, again, kind of, thanks, Famco. You'll fully voice act a Dragon Ball game. But where the fuck is my fully voice acted Digimon?
Yeah. As somebody who
Oh.
also bought the Breakers, who played the beta for the Breakers, oh my gosh.
I
It was
might as
so
well just
bad.
call it. I might as well just call it Dragon Ball Broken Hearted.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like I dodged a bullet.
Yeah,
Good
sounds
for
like-
you.
Good for you. I haven't returned a game this fast since Final Fantasy Dissidia NT,
Oh.
Ouch.
and I bought a collector's edition with that one, so extra ouch.
Ow.
Also, look, I gotta take a win when I can. But for me, my most disappointing game of the year was Mario Strikers Battle League. That
Oh my god, I forgot that came out too this year.
that was a birthday game. It literally came out on my birthday.
We
I was
played it
hy-
on your birthday.
I was hyped for it and everything, and then I played it and
Okay,
never
was
touched it
I-
again.
What I don't think I'm the only one, but I'm pretty sure everyone I've seen play this and/or talk to, all were misled by how the multiplayer works.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they
Also
were
the-
not clear on it like at all.
Yeah, how you swap between all 3 characters, even if you're playing with another friend. We played this on your birthday, Rocks, and I remember at the
Yeah.
beginning of the night we were hyped. At the end of the night, we were all ready to go to bed, and not because
you-
it was late. We were burned out.
I
on it
wanted to
bad.
punch. I wanted to punch Toad
in his non-existent nose.
To be fair, I would say you might be able to blame me on that one because I played Toad and Wario, and that kind of combo against you guys was either I'm gonna run really fast with the ball or you're going into a wall. Let's
Oh.
go.
That I don't know what's worse, that or you playing as Wario in Mario Party year and denying a star only to steal rocks as the next turn.
I have never been more suicidal than I was that night.
No, you can't say that. We hear no, it's a loving place and we love you, but at the same time, I had to send a message.
Oh
What?
It's
no!
not about
What
the stars. It's about sending a message.
What message? Here's
That-
the fucking Mario Party.
The message was clear. He's a Wario and he's gonna win.
The message is Rock isn't allowed to win.
Literally what happened, for those who don't know, is that Gold Kid went to the star, said no. Are you sure? Yes. Are you really sure? Yes. Are you super sure? Yes. Walks away. We're like, Skull Kid, what are you doing? And Skull Kid's like, a power play. Next turn, Rox rolls, lands on the big piranha plant on Peach's birthday cake. Skull Kid steals Rox's star.
Hold on. I think to paint the entire picture, this was the last 4 turns. Like one of those turns, I landed in a Bowser space and he stole a star from Rox to give to me. And mind you, Rox was in the lead. Then all of a sudden, we're on the last 2 turns, and right before I go, I just have this idea. Wouldn't it be funny if I turn down the star? So I say it out loud, and everybody goes, wouldn't it be funny if we do that? I'm like, yeah. Just clicking the like B button. I'm not getting the star, and everyone goes, wait, what are you doing? Stop, what are you doing? All of you guys implored me not to do it. And then
It was that night when I learned that I'm just not allowed to win anything, and then I traded in Mario Party.
Oh my
well,
god.
I was gonna say, well, that's okay. There's plenty of other games. But,
It's okay.
I would just say, speaking of other games, just so we keep on track here, because we're friends. What? Let's see. I answered mine. Homecoming. I don't know if you shared the same thought as mine.
I did it.
Frequent. Oh, and then frequent. Also, did you share your? What was your?
I have
your
no idea,
worst?
but I was expecting to go last. Homecoming
Oh well.
is
If you're still thinking, go for it then.
No, I know what it
Homecoming.
is. I just don't want to go last.
Okay. Mine is Pac-Man World Repack. Because Rox already claimed Battle League, because I would have said Battle League. But
That was a birthday game.
Pac-Man World Repack, in a year full of great collections like Capcom Fighting, Cowabunga Collection, great remakes like Klonoa, Pac-Man World Repack does not stand above the rest. It is a basic game. It is a basic game with one of the worst OSTs I've heard in my whole life. Do you want to hear the Pac-Man theme on loop in remixed and levels? Do you want to hear songs that loop after 2 seconds over? I hate the Ruins level so much.
Homecoming, you played that game wrong. You should have played it like me. Mute it while watching something else in the background.
I mean, that's fair. I did that after the second world, but I did that for the first and second world.
Boy, that sounds pretty damning. Holy crap!
Yeah, and the second world, the Ruins world, was even worse because they had songs looping after 2 or 3 seconds. It was bad.
Keep in mind, for the first world of the game, the Pirate World, they fixed it with an update, but beforehand, it was the exact same audio quality as the PlayStation 1 original.
Yeah, and like Rox and I said before we got on this review, we don't get Pac-Man's, like, human scream. They speak in Animal Crossing speak in this game for some reason. Yeah, exactly. Like in the PS1 game, Pac-Man opens the door, sees that the ghost took his family, and goes, "Arrgh!" And it's like the funniest thing in the world. But yeah, that was the big disappointment for me because the game felt like it was on autopilot. I wanted to give it up so many times, and I did because I sold it. I beat it, and I sold it, and I felt nothing, and it's one of the... I have Pac-Man World 2. I found it at a retro shop. Hopefully the second one's better. Hopefully we get a Pac-Man World 2 repack. Everybody loves Pac-Man World 2 for some reason. And yeah, so Pac-Man World repack. But what about you, Frequent? What game let you down the most?
So, my take is a bit different from what I think the general consensus is, but I'm gonna have to say my most disappointing game was Cursed to Golf. You all know that I love golf games, to the point, and I'm to the point where none of you will play golf games with me anymore because I always win.
I feel like you might even have to like become like a professional golf video game player because it's like that level kind of good.
Yeah, I don't know if that exists, but sure. I was really excited for Cursed to Golf because I was like, oh, I like golf games. I like roguelikes. This sounds great. It doesn't work. It's really, really boring. I don't find it fun to play at all.
Are you telling me it was horrible?
It's
Listen.
just...
Is it subpar?
God.
Sounds like it was definitely a cursed golf game.
Anyway.
It sounded like it was a bogey.
Did you feel like you were having a stroke as you were playing it?
Okay!
Are we
Enough of
done
the
with
golf
that?
monkey.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry you both had to put up with that.
Oh god.
The gameplay in Cursed to Golf is just... I don't think it's fun. It's a game that exists. I think the writing is pretty fun, but like I'd rather just play any other golf game that I have.
Go play Golf Story.
Golf Story is fantastic.
Even
Like,
Easy Come Easy Golf.
I will say this, like, even if you don't care about golf or sports games in general, still go play Golf Story.
Yeah, no. Everything I just said about Cursed to Golf is the exact opposite for Golf Story. Golf Story is incredible. But and Sports Story, I'm sure, is also great, but I don't have it.
Like,
Easy Come
I'm
Easy
saying
Golf
this,
is pretty chill.
I'm saying this as someone who typically does not play a sports game unless it stars a red Italian plumber. Go play Sports Story and Golf Story. They are fantastic games.
Yeah, I cannot recommend Golf Story more. That's the takeaway from this. Don't play Cursed to Golf. Play Golf Story.
Up next, we have the honorable mentions. So for this category, we are choosing 3 honorable mentions. Games that you probably would have put at best game of the year, but you didn't for whatever reason, or maybe there was just something that, topped the 3 games here. But to start this list off, this time we're going from the order that we appear in the Discord call. So, Frequent, what are your top 3 honorable mentions?
Cool. I wanted to put stuff that I haven't mentioned anywhere else. So I think for my first honorable mention, I am gonna mention Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Hallelujah!
What a fantastic 3D platform! Oh my god!
I didn't even play through all of it. I mainly helped my wife here or there because I just wasn't that interested. But then all of a sudden, I'm just like, Kirby Lore's entertaining. Literally, this game made me stop hating Meta Knight, who used to be my favorite Kirby character, but I hated him because of a old associate who mained him in Brawl. I now main Meta Knight in Ultimate. I'm not good at all, but now I have fun knowing Meta Knight I could play with again. And I thank Kirby for this, and Frequent, but mainly Kirby.
I nearly 100%ed Forgotten Land. The only thing I didn't do was the bonus stages to completion. I did everything this game had. And I still wanted more. I was like, oh, I hope there's DLC for this. Doesn't look like there will be. But, oh my god, this game is incredible. Number 2, if I'm going to move on, another incredible game, Live Alive. Oh shit! Yoko
Yeah,
Shimomura soundtrack. Uh,
I
just
haven't even played it. Just hearing ads for it makes my skin
yeah,
just ooh, good.
yeah,
It's good.
yeah. Megalomania, obviously the inspiration for Megalovania. Great song, but like the entire soundtrack is, it's like indescribably good.
There's a cool little robot who wears shades and a hat.
Yep, he's fun. And like
He also sounds adorable.
this is just that's like I'm just barely scratching the surface here. The game is gorgeous in the HD 2D like format. It's so pretty. And the voice acting is almost always on point. Like I don't have a bad thing to say about Live Life.
And then what's your number 3 shot?
See, that is interesting. I am not sure.
I mean, out of morbid curiosity, do you have another game you might want to down talk? Because if you're out of ideas, I feel like maybe give you a third category of
So
dissing.
I'll do a quick, like, positive and then a quick negative. My last positive would be Kirby's Dream Buffet. Fun little multiplayer game, free to play, or not free to play. It was like $20, but
Yeah,
I liked it a lot. It was fun, and I'd like to play a little more of it, but people don't really play multiplayer on it anymore. Oh, and then the quick negative. I was really kind of let down by Soul Hackers 2. I thought it's not a bad game. It's just kind of boring.
ooh,
Good music though.
Yeah, music's pretty good, and I like the characters.
I like
Yeah.
Enzo.
And then up next is Homecoming. What are your 3 honorable mentions?
Okay, I looked at my list and I'm throwing it out. So first honorable mention is gonna be Legends Arceus. That game started the year off so well. I love it. I love it dearly. It has changed the way that I look at Pokemon. So much so that I'm incredibly hard on Scarlet and Violet now because of this game. But yes, Legends Arceus has really raised the bar for me in terms of Pokemon games. It's a dream come true. It really, really blew me away in the best way possible, and I was not expecting it to. And being surrounded by friends and Frequent, who made me a shiny addict. This is actually, I do want to get the shiny charm in Scarlet and Violet and be able to shiny hunt in that, but I think I'm going to want to shiny hunt in Arceus more. I think it's more fun in Arceus. Like, I didn't complete it, but I want to. Next up on the bat is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, because even though River City Girls 2 came out, I really can't formulate an opinion on it. It is way too recent. I'm going up and down with River City Girls 2. Do I like it more than the original? Do I like the original more? Do I like this better? But Shredder's Revenge is one I can definitely say really just a fantastic game. It has that, like, honestly, Shredder's Revenge is one of those games that I could see having an arcade machine. It feels like a lost arcade game in the best way possible, and I just adore it. It's fun to play with friends when the online works. The music, me and Rox have listened to Mutants Over Broadway I don't want to know how many times this year.
Correction, Rox has listened to Mutants Over Broadway multiple times. You've listened to Panic in the Sky multiple times.
I've listened to them both. I've listened to them both. You liar. And who'd you think was sitting there while you were playing Mutants Over Broadway for the 15th time? Huh? Yeah, I listened to it too. And then my third is actually Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I have not
Ooh.
enjoyed a Lego game this much in a long time. I actually recently bought this for a friend of mine for Christmas, and it is just a delightful, fun, chill game. I have not beaten Sonic Frontiers nor Sparks of Hope, so they didn't make it on here, but I have played enough of Skywalker Saga to safely say it is one of my favorite LEGO games, period. It's a fun one to pop in. There's a lot of fun details. One of my absolute favorites is how the characters even there's so much attention to detail. The characters even interact with each other in the hub world. Like, young Anakin will go up to Darth Vader and go, "Oh, that's a really cool suit. I hope I get something like that someday." And Darth Vader will go, "Patience, young one, patience."
Oh my god. I forgot about that.
It's one of my absolute favorite little Easter eggs, and it's just a fun time. So yeah, those are my 3 honorable mentions from this year, and this was actually the hardest topic for me. But what's up, Rox?
Okay, so for me, my 3 honorable mentions. At number 1 is Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This is probably my favorite RPG that I've played this year. It is amazing. Also, its soundtrack is
Once again, Yoko Shimomura.
yeah. At number 2 is Pokemon Legends Arceus. My favorite thing about this game is that it's the only Pokemon game in existence where you can actually be killed by a Pokemon.
I also totally forgot that game came out the day before my birthday. I still haven't finished it. God damn it.
Oh yeah.
You all
They talk
disappoint me.
about death so flippantly in that game.
Literally, one of your first interactions is just them saying, "Hey, if you can't pull your weight in this village, while you're living here, if you can't pull your weight, we will kick you out and leave you to die."
And what's your number 3?
It's the one game that you guys probably weren't expecting from me personally. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yes!
Yeah, game good.
It's a good game. It's just that
For a little bit of lore, Rox has actually kissed the Cthulian horror that is Kirby.
yeah. So without getting too deep into it, I'm not super big into Kirby, and due to personal experiences, I kind of don't like Kirby, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. But well, I don't like Kirby as a character because of personal experiences, but there are aspects of Kirby I like Meta Knight and Airride. But
The bottom line, Rox played and enjoyed a Kirby game.
yeah. Yeah,
Yay.
so I'm sure that's like the biggest surprise of this entire thing is that I enjoyed a Kirby game.
I
It's a
ain't gonna
very
lie, that
good
actually
game.
did throw me off.
It is a very good Kirby game. It's hard
It
not
is.
to like it.
It is. Like, I know people who typically don't care about Kirby who enjoy Kirby in the Forgotten Land, so. But, what about you, Skull Kid?
Let me preface what I'm about to say with my first honorable mention with something funny. You ever played the original Skyrim and know it's just this kind of broken, buggy mess, but you just love the hell out of it, and like you just keep going on into it, investing hours, using all those stats, figuring out different ways to play. That is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah,
I
I had a
don't
feeling
care
it's
what
what you
anyone- I do not care what anyone says about it being broken and or buggy. It is possibly the most fun I've had playing a Pokemon game in a long time. And yes, again, it kind of overshadowed Arceus for me for the year. Even though, again, that came out the day before my birthday, and I was so jazzed for Arceus. But with Scarlet and Violet, there's something about it that hits different. But man, I loved every moment of it. I'm near the end. I am battling the Elite Four. Not right now, but like currently, I'm at the gate. I'm gonna tackle it, and I can't even wait for the post game stuff.
Okay.
Well,
Wait,
then,
you still have 2 more Skull.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait a minute.
oh yeah, no. I was doing a big love sale for Scarlet and Violet. I just think it needs way more love than it actually got. Because man, there's so many negative things I heard. But my other two are this one's kind of a simple one, another early game entry, Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh yeah.
It's something that like I've been waiting for the sequel. I'm glad we're also getting DLC on the way. Aloy is one of my new favorite protagonist characters to come from a video game in a long while. I love the setting, but Forbidden West just turned it up from the first game. I felt there was, I'll be honest, there was a little bit of hiccups here and there. Understandable when you introduce an entirely new map and a couple new features that can break some puzzle solving moments of the game, which I totally exploited when it happened. But yeah, totally give Horizon another shot, or even just like a first shot if you haven't. And honestly, same with the first game. And then I guess my third, yeah, I guess my third was something that I only know that Frequent had touched, which was Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, it's fun.
Ghostwire Tokyo is it's not super long. It actually it's really cool. You actually learn, as someone who was not born in Japan, I learned a lot about Japanese either lore and or history, or even wanted to look into some of it, because some of the like yokai and or creatures you find in this game are entertaining and interesting to learn about.
For reference for the audience, Skull Kid is part Japanese.
Well, that too. I'm very.
No, I was gonna say I've also heard that despite this game being advertised as a horror game, it's not.
It's not at all.
I would say it has like a lot of horror elements, which is like I remember an early moment of the game where you're like in an empty hospital. There's literally just like, I mean, easily just kind of explain the setting. It almost feels like if, oh god, I forgot the apocalyptic event it's called, but like everybody in Tokyo is gone other than your character,
Rapture.
and it's the rapture. It feels like a rapture, but all the monsters came out, all the ghosts and ghouls, and being like in a hospital, running up and down different floors, like you'll just see shadows of like monsters and stuff go around, or go giggling or whatnot. But there's nothing around you, and there's not really too many jump scares in the game, which I also appreciate immensely. It's not that the game itself is horror based, but there is like a scary nature to it, and I feel like atmosphere was definitely a big thing that went into the game versus just being scary.
Yeah.
And yeah, big thing.
I think Ghostwire Tokyo can probably be described as like, it's spooky, but it's not like it's not a horror game. Yes, I know, I said the line. It's not a horror game. It's just a little spooky.
Yeah, I would even probably go with like a really slowed down, if maybe even nerfed version of maybe Silent Hill due to all the fog in the game. That's probably about it. Also not as psychological, but still.
Okay. Up next, cue the porno music. I mean, the drum roll thing. Do that. Future me, do that. It's time for the best game of the year, according to us and our own personal opinions. If you do not agree with us, that's fine. I don't care. I do care, but that's not the point. So, starting off with Skull Kid, what is your game of the year?
It was game of the year for a reason.
Yeah, that. So is Elden Ring then, huh?
It was game of the year for a reason. I'll be actually, to be completely honest, I remember starting this year off, and Elden Ring, I believe, even got like a little bit of a delay, which I was like, okay, that's not too bad. But at the same time, I was worried knowing that God of War is coming out the same year as this game. But by golly, Elden Ring, easily one of my favorite experiences in a game in a long while. Because I'll be completely honest. Over the weekend, I was kind of just watching random videos and just coming across someone, and this was months ago, talking about just kind of game design and what easily could be overlooked for a lot of elements that went into Elden Ring. Some of the best stuff I've seen in the game in a while, and I would even say it's up there with something like, for I guess for a reference for Ghost of Tsushima, you don't really have a HUD that's on screen often. Elden Ring kind of does very similar, where unless you're in constant battles, your HUD is kind of just hidden, so you get to take every bit of your environment in, from guys walking around on the map to the music to the sound of the wind blowing across the field to volcanoes erupting right next to you. You just get to take all this kind of stuff in, and that's not even to go into like the very everyone going, well, it's from software gameplay, dodge, roll, just poke them in the butt. That was not a strategy I've heard many people had to or were able to do in this iteration. There's just so much that I could go on and on about, but I do not want to hog all this time just to splurge about why I think it's such a good game and why it actually has lore, even though there's naysayers who say it doesn't.
So I should probably play Elden Ring, huh?
Yeah, there's plenty of things. There's many. This game has 6 endings, and I didn't think it even have 2 endings. Well, I didn't think it had 3 endings, but yeah, it's so good. I went through the game without using a shield because Samurai forever.
Well, hopefully someone buys me Elden Ring.
Man, I'm waiting for some more Elden Bling. I tell you what, I'm gonna be repping all that stuff soon.
For me, my game of the year is Sonic Frontiers.
Mm-hmm.
It is the only game this year whose ending actually kind of made me cry a little.
That ending's depressing.
It is. I'm not going into what happens. Just be ready to be depressed.
I feel like I know what you're talking about because I haven't finished the game, but there has been a back of my mind fear throughout the entire playthrough I've had so far.
I'm not going to confirm or deny anything.
You should really experience it on your own.
Yeah,
This is a Sonic game made for Sonic fans.
it is.
They even reference the Deadly Six.
They reference everything. They even
How about the
reference.
hedgehog?
Hell, they even reference characters from the comics. There's one line where Sonic references Tangle, a character who is only in the comics. And it's wild. This game basically goes, everything is canon.
You ever think about that moment from the very first Sonic Adventure game at the very end when you fight Chaos and you go Super Sonic and it's just you hear all this badass music, the like environment is just a flooded city, and you just feel so pumped and amped and ready to just go. Now times that by about 5, and that's Sonic Frontier in a nutshell. You just get that throughout, in my opinion. You get so many moments where you have
definitely.
that
Every
epic feel.
every boss fight in this game is the final boss from SA1.
Yeah.
It's the final boss from SA1 on crack. Like there's no easier way to kind of just go, all right, now make it bigger. No, bigger. I said bigger. And then not on top of that, the music.
The music goes hard.
It goes so hard.
I'll be honest, I'm still listening to those, just the ambient, the like background music, like when you go into the like platformer stages. I listen to those even if they're just remixes of previous Sonic game music. It's just I love the soundtrack so much.
The best way I could describe this game's soundtrack is it is the most non-Sonic soundtrack ever, and I mean that in the best way possible.
And you can use Big the Cat to beat the game.
Yeah, that's true. Look, any Sonic game that references Shadow the Hedgehog it's probably going to be a good one in my book.
Although I will say, as a big fan, 4 out of 10. No reference to Elise.
It references
Oh,
Sonic. It references every Sonic game. Even like, does it reference 06?
I think it references 06, yeah.
I didn't say 06. I said Elise.
It even references Riders of all things.
Yeah, they would talk about the Babylon Rogues.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
One of the egg
yeah,
things.
one
What
of
are they
the
called?
egg memos.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
They
really cool.
they have had Grown Ups 2 for 4 months and they still haven't watched it yet.
I knew it.
What?
I knew someone was gonna do it.
What?
Yeah, they tried to return the movie from the to the red box, and it just kept spitting out figures.
Oh,
It's,
shitpost.
yeah, it's the fan dub, Brooks.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, shitpost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although my one last good thing to say about it, and I think this is one of the highest praises I could give any sort of Sonic game, dude. I haven't had such a lo-fi chill music like background that I'll just put on just to listen to since like the Mega Collection main menu, and that's just the background music for fishing. It's just a mood.
Yeah, the fishing.
Also, big props to Sega for releasing such a massive DLC. I mean, it's not out yet, but they are releasing it like next year, and it's like a huge DLC roadmap, including new areas to explore, new quality of life improvements, like a
Yeah, the
camera
characters.
feature, a jukebox, and the
Can't wait to play
biggest
as
one.
Shadow.
No, they don't. The biggest one is a
Mark
brand
my
new
words.
campaign. A brand new campaign where you can play as the characters that are already in the game, and the best part about all of this is that it's 100% free.
Yeah, but 0 out of 10, no Shadow the Hedgehog.
I would. You know what? You're right. -4 out of 10. No Silver the Hedgehog.
Look, I just want to shoot guns.
Look, I just want Tails, which we're getting. Go play Sonic Frontiers.
When are we getting? Just as Sega, when are we getting Shadow the Hedgehog Dirge of Cerberus?
Sega, if you do that, I will disown you.
God. Alright, I think Homecoming's next.
Okay. I will say really quick is that this was a really good year for. We had an incredible movie sequel. We had a really good game, and we had a TV show with a homicidal baby. And no, you're not getting context for that.
Mandalorian?
It's still Sonic.
Boss
Yes.
baby?
Yeah, you know the baby I'm talking about. You watch Sonic Prime.
Boss baby?
I hate you. Okay. So my game of the year is one that I was excited for the second it was announced. It's in my favorite series of all time. And I grew up with the series alongside my favorite second series of all time, which is Mario. And that is Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I adore this game. The music is nothing short of spectacular. The game is beautiful. The boss fights are engaging. The map is incredible to traverse. The fact that they gave you a power-up for sleep and Kirby pulls out an entire bed and gets in it is a mood and a half. And what is introduced here is, in my opinion, what Triple Deluxe did for Kirby, because people loved Return to Dreamlands, but it was towards the end of the Wii. But Triple Deluxe kind of walked a little bit, so Planet Robobot could just blow us all out of the water. And what is it, Rock?
This is how Mario differs from Kirby. Mario doesn't need a bed to sleep. He just sleeps on the floor like a fucking heathen. Wait a minute.
Mario just falls asleep where he is.
Yeah, he just sleeps on the floor like a heathen.
Also, gave Kirby a gun, 10 out of 10.
They
I
did give.
can't. I can't believe that one of the most horrified moments I've had in a video game this year was a Cthulian boss monster that came from Kirby and not Elden Ring.
Oh,
You
I
know
know
what?
you talking about the final boss, right?
You know what? I'll give Kirby.
I will not confirm nor deny that.
I will give Kirby and the Forgotten Land this. It has furry bait. See, it has something for everyone.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
Are you elfing kidding me?
You can't see it, but I'm face palming so hard right now.
I am so upset. I am
Ro-
very,
Uh,
very.
You're welcome.
just future editor rocks. Sauce in the description.
I'm not
No,
putting-
I hate both of you right now. You know what? Put your Christmas presents back in the mail and send them
Wait,
back to me.
hang on. The sauce in the description was from McDonald's, or
yeah, push one sauce.
okay.
Back to Forgotten Land. The hub world is even entertaining. They have a real life gachapon. They have stupid Kirby Tilt and Tumble, which is the worst part of the game. But like,
Yes, but can
What is tilt and tumble?
It's the Game Boy game when you turn the Game Boy so you can move Kirby into a hole.
yes.
Oh, I finished that like no problem. Never mind. That was.
Shut
yeah.
up.
I'm
Anyway.
glad you. I'm
Same.
happy to hear you had a hard time.
Yeah.
Thanks. But yes, this was my. I love Kirby. I can't wait for Returns to Dreamland to be off of the Wii and on here. And this game, I feel like, is just setting the stage for some really phenomenal stuff. Now, the new power-up, the drill, was only but as Frequent mentioned, the gun is amazing. Please bring back the gun.
Oh my
Kirby
god, when
is-
you upgrade it to the laser gun.
Oh my gosh, what? Yes, and all of the bosses are so full of life, like, including the worst one, which is that armadillo boss, but that's neither here nor
the
there.
armadillo boss, the gorilla boss, the furry bay.
Shut up! Shut
I mean, and if, in all honesty, if none of that does it for you, they threw in like a gauntlet mode, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yes.
Listen, they introduced. I don't know if this is a power up that they've had in the series before, but they have a power up that just makes Kirby Meta Knight.
That's kind of, and then that's kind of, but not really.
I mean, they've had modes where you just full on plays, like,
Yeah, you just play as Meta.
Yeah.
Meta
But
Nightmare modes,
If
but
you, if you play the Gauntlet mode and you go to the maximum difficulty, that is where they hid the true final boss, and
it
it's
is.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's also for funsies. It's also canon.
It is canon, yes.
Yes, that boss is indeed canon. Well, that boss has made multiple appearances, and let's just say that
Well, that's
That
why it's
boss-
exciting that it's canon.
Yeah, well, that boss made multiple appearances, but it's never been in a canon mode.
Why
now
is
it is
it?
canon.
Why is it always the Coliseum modes that give the most lore dumps?
Because Hal are crazy.
Indeed, and that's what I gotta say about Forgotten Land. Oh, and Mouthful mode! It never felt like a gimmick. It felt like an extension of Kirby in the best way possible, whether you're a car. My personal favorite one is the little ring when you would attach yourself to a boat. Yeah, we love Mouthful mode, even if Kirby is kind of choking himself a little bit.
He's
Yeah.
a black hole, he can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's odd to see Kirby try to swallow something and not swallow it all the way. So, seeing him, like, hang off of a car, like,
Well, he
Listen,
doesn't have the rainbow fruit from Triple Deluxe.
Kirby right back at you confirmed that Kirby's stomach is a literal black hole, so he can take it.
but yes, if anyone's like, oh, it's Forgotten Land, no, Forgotten Land, Game of the Year. Love it, can't wait for more Kirby.
Elden Ring.
I mean, Elden Ring and Kirby are kind of the same thing,
Sonic Frontiers.
but what's your game frequent?
Yeah, I guess that leaves me. I'm a simple guy. I love Pokemon. It was gonna either be Scarlet and Violet or Legends Arceus, and it's Legends Arceus. I like
Yes.
Scarlet and Violet a
As
lot.
it should be.
Yeah, I like Scarlet and Violet a lot. I'm with Skullkid. I think it's much better than people often give it credit for. and I enjoyed the multiplayer component of it a lot, and it's just a fun game. But Legends Arceus is just special. Like, oh my god, is it special?
I think there's more people excited for where they could go with this kind of spin-off than there are people who are wanting more from the base series.
Yeah. I think at least of our age, maybe the kids want more Scarlet and Violet, which I wouldn't blame them.
I know I was
Great game.
joking. I know I was joking earlier when I said, "Oh, this is the first Pokemon game where you, the player, can actually die." But it's like, no, that's one of those things where it's like, you would have never expected the Pokemon Company to actually do that. This game actually took risks and did things that the series has never done before.
They tell you in the first 5 minutes that the Pokemon will kill you. Like, it's wild. And like, that's the story we haven't even mentioned, but it's actually really good. Like, this is probably in my top 3 stories in the Pokemon series, and it's probably in my top 3 games in the series.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And all I will say is that the only downside for Arceus compared to Scarlet and Violet is in the category. Arceus doesn't have a lot of music. Some of the music that is there is nice, but Scarlet and Violet is back to form where you have these like really fun tracks and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
To be fair, Toby Fox helped with that soundtrack. And
yes, Toby Fox did write multiple songs for Scarlet and Violet, and the music is, well, it shows.
In Scarlet and Violet, you can beat up a car.
That's true. You wouldn't
you wouldn't fight a car.
I'll
also, you know what? I'll give you a big positive. I hate Sinnoh. Absolutely despise it. Legends Arceus rocks. Fuck Sinnoh.
Yeah. Hisui is the better Sinnoh. It's true.
Hisui is the better Sinnoh.
And like,
Sinnoh was better when it was just Arceus.
It is a world that is like way more alive than you expect it to be, because it, like, on paper it's very empty, but it just like, it works.
Its history is just
it
is wild.
And
what were those weird bubbles called again?
Oh, the space-time or distortions.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And like, the characters, this game is full of such a great cast. Like, Laventon is a bumbling oaf. Silene is like basically looking out for you. Silene is like the how do I word it? Like, she's cold on the outside, but you can tell she really cares.
She's a tsundere.
Yes. And like the clans, oh my gosh, the 2 clans are so delightful. Like,
not
picking
Mars. What was her name?
Irida?
Yeah, she's best girl.
Oh, the hairstylist.
Oh no, that's Arizu? Yeah, Arizu.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, she's named after Ares.
Yes, I love the 2 clans. It actually makes it hard to pick between the 2 of them because both of the characters are so enjoyable, but I mean, I had to pick Pearl because Pearl didn't have Melly.
Yeah, Melly sucks. Oh my god. I think
I went
both
with the Pearl clan just because I really like the leader.
Yeah, it was like, which leader do you want to hang out with? I was like, well, I'd rather hang out with Irida, so...
Yeah.
Although Adamant is very cool and collected and delight. Yeah, Adamant's great, and a lot of the Diamond clan is really cool. My favorites of the clan being the 2 there in the water area that are secret lovers.
It's not that secret. Let's be honest.
It's not that secret. Well, I mean, they went out there to be lovers because nobody else goes out there.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But I think in general, Pokemon this year just did great with characters. Like, I love Scarlet and Violet's like main trio of friends. Yeah, I think Pokemon's getting a lot better with their characterization and storytelling.
Team Star is like some of the most interesting quote-unquote villain team the series has seen.
Yeah, I think they're one of the most complex villain teams other than like Plasma.
Yeah.
That's a high bar too.
They didn't deserve what they got. But no, what I wanted to say is that, yeah, our best friends, including our hip young friend Clive.
Nimona.
Oh my god, yes, Skull Kid, we know you simp over Nimona.
Not Clive.
Nimona.
Clive is like
Mila.
Clive is very funny. This is yes, Scarlet and Violet sidetrack. Scarlet and Violet is probably the funniest Pokemon game. I just
You
love
know what?
I love every word that comes out of Penny's mouth at the end of the game.
I'm just so upset we never got a TM17 joke.
Penny is just Futaba, and I love her.
Is that the joke that I keep talking about from Pokemon X and Y? Stalking.
If you know what TM17 is, then yes.
You just really want to protect. Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know, the funniest moment in any Pokemon game is in Pokemon X and Y, where you're watching the fireworks with Shauna, and she says, "Oh, I've never watched fireworks with a boy before." If you're playing the male character, and then the butler in the mansion that you're in comes out and gives you the TM for protect.
I see what you did there, Game Freak, and I've
It's the
heard.
funniest joke in the entire series.
okay. Oh, Skull Kid, why?
Huh?
I just looked up what TM17 is. What?
It's protect.
It's always been. It's practically always been protect.
That's what we were just talking about.
We literally just said it.
Would you have rather me have said spiky shield? I don't know.
Okay, so that's
I'm
what
gonna
we're
go
gonna
play
wrap up.
Wind Waker.
That's where we're gonna wrap up our Game of the Year discussion.
Well, real quick.
I would just say
to-
more so just
correct.
year in gaming for us, but
Yeah. Just to correct, by the way, in Gen 9, TM17 is actually Confuse Ray.
again, I would just like to say, TM17 was protect for a long period of time. Don't really care much because you understood the joke. But
Yeah.
still, I'll take it. Also, remember to get your dog spayed and neutered.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna wrap up our. What the fuck, Skullcat? Oh.
What,
It's a Bob
you've
Barker
never,
reference.
I know.
you've never seen The Price is Right, just how they do sign off.
Yeah,
Fine,
but I just wasn't expecting it.
Giving the old Bob Barker treatment.
But yeah, that's where we're wrapping up. Like, comment, subscribe, neuter your dogs.
Play
Bye.
Donkey Kong Country.
No, don't do that. Bye.